Hello, I'm Dr. Brandy Spalding, Executive Director of the Ohio State Chiropractic Association, and we are coming to you from the OSCA Annual Convention. With us, we have Dr. Michael Cafaro, OSCA President.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, it is. Our event is off and running. How's your day one going?
It's been fantastic so far. Fun and energetic. So I always love convention, look forward to it every year, and this year is no different.
It is a great event.
Absolutely.
Why don't we start by having you tell us a little bit about your story? Where
Sure.
are you from? Where did you go to school? And
Sure.
how did you become interested in becoming a chiropractor?
That's a great question. I always love that one. I'm actually from Youngstown, Ohio, northeast part of the state, born and raised there. And I'd gone to Youngstown State. I wanted to be in healthcare, and I wasn't sure what angle I would take. And I was in my junior to senior year of Youngstown State undergrad school, and I had bad sinus issues. And I wasn't really helped by the medical community. They said, "Oh, there's not much we can do for you. You can just take these over-the-counter sinus meds, and they're going to help." And all I really did was lose my sense of smell, and I was never better. And I ended up researching. This is back before Google. I'm not old, but I'm a little bit older.
A little away there.
You're right. So it was before Google times, back when Yahoo was the big search engine. I just happened to look up other forms of treatment for chronic sinus problems. And chiropractic was about the third or fourth article down. We had a family friend who was a chiropractor. And I'm like, chiropractic, that's not going to help with sinus issues. And I ended up reaching out and calling him. And he said, "Oh yeah, we can help with that." Brings me into the office, explains how the neck can affect sinuses. And within 4 months, he started working with me. And all my sinus issues were gone. And I had no issues, no problems. I just remember changing my major from pre-med at the time to pre-chiropractic, which was the same thing.
Yeah.
So after that, I ventured off to Palmer College of Chiropractic in Davenport, Iowa, and graduated in 2004 and been doing it now for 20 years and back in Youngstown.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, you mentioned Palmer in Davenport is where you went to school. You're still very involved with them. What role do you have?
Correct. Yeah, I've always loved giving back. That school, we just went to homecoming. And I always say when I cross the bridge going into Iowa, it does feel home to me. Even though Youngstown's home, Ohio's home, that really felt home as well. And I've always just been involved in giving back. And over the years, I've kind of helped, and especially with my role in OSCA working with the school. But as I was doing that, they had actually reached out, and now I am officially an alumni ambassador for the Chiropractic College. So I will work state association conventions, a handful of those a year, which is really fun because I see it from the other side. When I help run the conventions here, I see it from the other side as a vendor. But it's a nice way to collect with alumni. It's also a nice way to work with other state associations doing the same things that we are, and just giving back and helping the school. So I have the pleasure of doing that too, and I enjoy every minute.
Working with state associations in a different way.
Yeah.
So you've been involved with the OSCA for quite a while now and currently serve as the OSCA president. How did you become interested or involved to begin with?
Yeah, that's another good question. I always wanted to give back and be involved. And I remember being at Palmer, and even at the time, the president had said, president of the college had said, you really need to be involved giving back at your states and local and national levels. And I just always remember that. And I worked at our local level, our districts. I was our district president locally, and decided to step up. They needed an assistant. And Dr. Jim Crumpack, a mentor of mine, was the district director and was a district director for a long time. Needed an assistant, and I stepped up to be his assistant for a few years. And then when he was done with his term, I took over, and it's been about 10 years that I've been on the board so far, and just have moved up through various chairs and position, and now have the pleasure of serving as president.
Fantastic, and probably learned a lot along the way.
Absolutely.
What is something you wish you could tell yourself 10 years ago?
That's a great question. I think I would probably tell myself, slow down, stay calm. It's going to be okay. And I think sometimes we do the things we do in life, and we do the things we do in business or practice, whatever it might be, and we just get that amped up, and it seems like it's the end of the world, and it's not. But I think that's what I would do. Tell myself it's going to be okay.
Slow down is good advice.
Yeah.
Good. So let's see here. How is your practice different than maybe some colleagues around you? I know you've practiced in several different settings.
Yeah, That's another great question. This one's an interesting story. Again, I think it's something too. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, would I be here? I started off as an associate doctor, and it was going good for a while. And sadly, sometimes those don't end great. And it didn't end terrible, but it didn't end good. And I went off on my own and practiced for about 15 years. And I was doing side work in occupational health for a very large multidisciplinary facility. And they came to me and said, we want you to start a chiropractic program here, a whole chiropractic department. And I thought, well, I wasn't really interested in leaving private practice. And the more I thought about it, it was just a nice opportunity. And versus running the business and the insurance, I always wanted to be in a larger group setting with multiple chiropractors. But it just, in private practice, just was a little harder to do. And I sat down with them and I joined, and now we are a large multidisciplinary facility that does primary care, chiropractic, acupuncture, behavioral health, addiction recovery services, and still the occupational health that I started in. And I'm the director of chiropractic and occupational health. And it has been an absolute blast. And I've been doing that for the past 5 years, and it's given opportunity to bring younger doctors on as well, and just other doctors in general. So
you were the first one to integrate into that setting. And now how many chiropractors are there?
Now we have three full-time chiropractors. We all do chiropractic, even do acupuncture, which we did through the OSCA program as well. So it's been that's been a great ride. I'm actually proud of where we've been with that, how we've been able to grow it from the ground up, and now having 3 full-time doctors.
Yeah, that's fantastic. What do you think is the biggest thing that the public misunderstands about chiropractic?
That's another good question. I always like answering that one too, because I'll hear that one a lot. And I think, especially too, when you see things on social media and some videos that are out there, and patients will ask, hey, I saw this thing on TikTok. Are you going to do that? We're going to do a little bit different today. But it actually helps because it promotes chiropractic. But it does give some misconceptions in general, and I think a lot of those misconceptions exist. I think the biggest one that I always answer, and has been fun for me to answer over the years, it's that big question of, once I start going, do I always have to go? And I explain to patients, phases of care. You can come for acute care, you can come back when you need to, you can come for maintenance and wellness type models to where we can maintain that, and leave it up to the patients once I explain it to them. And the way things have changed, patients are taking that role of health on themselves, and we do see more wellness maintenance type patients, but we also see those acute patients who they need to. We're in a hardworking blue collar town. They're hurting. They want to get in, out, and back to work and come when they need to, and kind of have a variety of that. But I think just educating them that you can take it how you want it to be, and we're going to be there for them regardless of how they want to be treated. And I think that's a big misconception of, well, don't always have to go forever. You can do maintenance care. You can go for the visits you need for pain. And I think we do a little bit of everything. I know a lot of people practice differently, but we're all practicing chiropractic. And I think that's what makes it fun. The demographic that I am is very diverse, and we really can help patients regardless of what way they're coming in.
Yeah, I think that's empowering for patients too, to know that they have a choice in their healthcare.
Yeah, we always try to explain that to them as well. And it's fun. I do have a diverse group, and it's been fun. I've had patients who followed me from when I was an associate doctor to my practice, and now over at Meridian Healthcare where I work. So that's been very humbling to see people that have followed me for 20 years into 3 facilities.
What is your favorite OSCA memory?
My favorite OSCA memory? That's another good question too. I think the thing I enjoy most is when we're all together at convention, and one thing we're doing tonight, our president's reception. I love going to that and hearing those stories. We'll hear from the past presidents of their why and what it was like. And obviously the current president will speak, and upcoming president, whoever it might be. And everybody's kind of telling the story of what it was like when they were there and what it's like now. We talk about the problems and challenges that have sadly been there from when they were there and still there now, but how different it is, and from where the association has been then to now, especially being at the head of it, leading it. It's always motivational to hear those stories. Yeah. Especially looking back to where the challenges we had in the past, we still have, but as far as an association, how strong we are compared to past challenges that we've been able to work through.
Yeah. You've been able to experience the association as a member, and then as a board member, and then an executive committee member, and now leading as the president. What would you tell somebody who's not currently a member or is thinking about becoming a member of the association?
Yeah. That's another great question too. I always love to talk about that one. It's what does OSCA do? And why are we here, and why should I be a member? And I always say, we are, just as our mission says, we're advancing, promoting, and protecting chiropractic in Ohio, regardless of how you practice. And one thing we talk about too is even if legislation passes, it doesn't necessarily direct the way your style of practice is. It still protects the profession. And the next piece of legislation might be the one that really helps and protects you. So just to get involved and to give back and be part of it. I would encourage people actually not only to be members, but to think about becoming a board member in your district if you want to lead and give back, and get involved in committee work at the association level, or get involved in the executive committee and move up through the change in the ranks, or just even be a member. Another thing I think is always ironic that's I love hearing that drives me is I will have people in my district or just members say, hey, you know what? I'm a member because you're doing the work that I know needs done, but I don't want to do it. So I just pay my membership for you to do it. And that drives me because they count on us because they're seeing their patients every day, all day. And they're counting on us to do the work to protect and promote and advance the association. So I tell anybody, get involved for those reasons, and then get involved to give back and be part.
Yeah, absolutely. Even just being a member is significant.
Absolutely. Membership drives us. If we didn't have our members, we wouldn't be here. And that's a great part about convention. You see all the members that are here and having fun and the camaraderie, plus the great speakers and all the vendors that they can work with. It's a great experience to be able to take it all in and have that weekend together where we all have fun.
You can see your commitment to chiropractic through, you were an associate, you were a business owner, you were involved in establishing a chiropractic program in an integrated setting. You've volunteered time, you are leading in the state. What is the why behind all of that?
A lot of times I ask myself that same question. Why? Why am I doing this? The frustrations we have, the long late nights and challenges. I just think it's my purpose. I love chiropractic. It is my life. It's my lifestyle. I enjoy it, and I want to give back to it. And it just drives me to do that. The word I think we always talk about with chiropractors is passion. We all have that passion for what we do, and I always say I want to be a compassionate doctor, passionate about chiropractic, and just to give back. That's one thing I think OSCA allows me to do. And you could do it from being a member, you can do it from being a board member, but just giving back I think is my why. Still help patients, as I joke in the office, saving lives one spine at a time, especially working next to the medical community. Our medical director, I'll tease him all the time, saying, that's what I'm doing, I'm saving lives one spine at a time. And they love it and we work well together, but I think that's that purpose of just giving back and serving.
Well, the OSCA is grateful to be on the receiving end of your giving back. So thank you for all you do for chiropractic in Ohio, and thank you for joining us today.
And thank you for having me, and thank you for what you do, because that's a large reason why I'm here with you being our executive director.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.